All right, it's about 5 after. We'll go ahead and get started. Anybody that's running late can jump in and they should be able to catch up from wherever. So, my name is Jason O'Brien. I'm a tax program supervisor with the department, and today we are going over Ask the Advisor for the new My Nevada Tax e-services training. Please be advised this will be recorded for training and educational purposes, and by participating, you consent to the recording. If you don't wish to be recorded, please go ahead and drop it in the Q&A or raise your hand, and you can be given permission to speak. So if you are on the phone, in order to raise your hand, you would press *9. Otherwise, if you're using the app, there's a little hand button. But primarily what we end up with in these classes is most people drop their questions typed in the Q&A chat. So let's go ahead and start off with the department's mission statement today. Our mission statement is to provide fair, efficient, and effective administration of tax programs for the state of Nevada in accordance with applicable statutes, regulations, and policies, and to serve taxpayers, state and local government entities, and enable and recognize department employees. On your screen now, you should see a list of our Phase 1 tax types. Phase 1 being our first phase of the new My Nevada tax system. These are the tax types that you will be able to file and pay and register for online, and we will go into instructions on most of these. Well, primarily just the sales and use tax and the consumer use tax. The rest of them are all excise taxes, and we can get more detail on those via a call to the department. So just a quick overview, what you can do in the new My Nevada Tax e-services while you're logged in. So I'm not going to go through all of these. Today we will be going over in detail on making a payment, registering a business, requesting access to an account, and creating a login. But the rest of the stuff on your screen you can do at any time while you are logged in. I'll leave it up on the screen for about 10 more seconds. That way you can take a screenshot of it if you wish. All right. Now we have a list of items that you can accomplish while not logged into the My Nevada Tax e-services. So we will also go into making a payment while not logged in. You can book an appointment, which all of you probably did to get into the class today. But also after you've booked that appointment, you can find that appointment. And I'll leave this one up for another 10 seconds or so if you want to grab a screenshot of that as well. All right, so let's get to the meat of it. Why are you here today? Well, today you're going to learn about how to access My Nevada Tax. You're going to create a login, request access to a business, register a business, file a return, then, like I said, logged in and non-logged in payments. We'll go over some of our frequently asked questions, and throughout the presentation, there will be opportunities for questions and answers. So where can you access My Nevada Tax? Basically anywhere you can use a web browser. So your desktop PC, laptop, tablet, even your cell phone. As long as you can get to a web browser, you can access My Nevada Tax on it. Okay, we're going to go into a short video on how to create a login.
This video will explain how to create a logon for e-services. From the home page, click on the Sign Up link. Under Create an Account, fill in the required fields. Fill in a username that you will remember and submit your email address. Then, verify your email address. Please enter a password with a minimum of 8 characters. Passwords must contain uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and at least one special character. Enter a contact phone number, then click Next. Next, you must enter a security question or questions to provide the answer. Next, log in with your newly created username and password. Now you must enroll in two-step verification. This will protect your e-services profile. You can choose from text message or other options. You will receive a security code and must enter that code now. Click the Confirm button, and now you are logged in. This will complete setting up your logon for the My Nevada Tax website. This video will explain how to create a logon for.
I'm not sure why the videos do that, but when I try to go to the next screen, it definitely tries to start over. So next, we will have a video on requesting access to an existing account. So if you were in our old system and you had a registration with us for sales tax or use tax or any of the excise tax listed on that previous slide, you would be able to request access to that account via the method shown here.
This video will explain how to request and access an account. From your login page, click on I want to. Under Registration and Access, click on Request Access to an Account. This account access page will explain next steps and what you need to request access. Now enter the business and account information for the business you are requesting access to. Then enter your information. Click Next to review the information and check the affidavit. We will notify the owners and administrators of this business of your request for access. Once your request has been approved, you will be able to log in and perform actions for this business. Click Submit. This is your confirmation page with the confirmation number, submission type, and date submitted. You can print this page for your records. This completes your request to access an account.
As I alluded to, next up we have the demo on registering a business. So let me go ahead and change over what I am sharing. And all right, looks like we're updated. So I'll let Dana talk while I drive.
Okay, hello, I'm Dana. I'm a tax examiner in Reno, and we're going to register a business on e-services. So he's got his profile done here, so he's going to want to go to I want to. And then he's going to want to go under registration and access to register a new business and click on the hyperlink. Okay, so under your business information, he's going to put his business type, so entity type. Okay, and then federal ID type, either a federal ID, a FEIN, or a social.
When would they need a social?
When it's a sole proprietor. Okay, and then there's a space under federal ID type to put in the federal ID or social, and then the legal name of the business. And then it's going to ask if you have an unemployment insurance account number or a UI number. If you have employees, if you have no, you'll put no. If you have a Nevada business ID, which would be your Nevada business license number, starting with an NV.
And typically, if you are an LLC, you would have this, but for the sake of this demo, I'm going to be clicking it.
Okay.
You missed one.
What I missed?
This registration from an existing business.
It's not on my thing. Okay.
So the last question on there is this business, is this registration for an existing Nevada business after an acquisition or change in ownership? This would be if you purchased the business, you would say yes, and then it's going to ask you some questions regarding the previous entity. Again, for the sake of this demo, we're going to say no.
Okay, next. Okay, so it's going to continue on to new business registration. That's what you want. So you're going to continue. And then it's going to give you a list of things explaining why you're here and what you're registering for. So you want to make sure that you have this stuff. It's going to kind of list what kind of tax types you can register for. Okay, and then it's going to ask you about your business details. So incorporation state is first, and then incorporation date is after that. So he's gonna drop down to Nevada, and then this is the date that you register for your business license. And then your business start date in Nevada. And then after that, it's going to ask you if you have a doing business as name for your business. And if you do, you'll put that there. And then number of employees in Nevada, and then preferred language, and then website if you have one. And then after that, it's going to ask you 2 questions about your account. If you check the box, if you do not want to receive a refund when your account has a credit balance. And then the next one after that is check this box if you do not want to receive all communication electronically. And then after that, you're going to describe what you do for business. Okay, and then next. Oh, and then also, you're going, as you go through this, you're going to want to go to the bottom and save your drafts in case you have questions and have to come back to this. If you don't do this part, then you will have to start over again the next time you log into your profile.
If you don't complete the full registration.
Yes.
You then go.
Okay, and then after this, we're going to go into how to contact your business. So your email address, and then your phone country, and then your business, phone type. So business phone, cell phone, personal phone, and then extension if you have one. And then here you can also ask or add a secondary phone number if you choose to. And then you'll go next. Okay, and then we're going to go into headquarters address. So this is your entity address. So you can put in your street address and then your zip code and then verify.
There are asterisks on the city, county, but once you verify, it's going to give you, if there's multiple addresses at that address, an option, or it will just automatically populate the city and county.
Okay, and if that looks good, it's going to ask you if you want to provide a separate mailing address. If you do, you would add it here. If you don't, then you can just select no and then move on to the next screen.
This would be useful or helpful if you are running a business, but you want all of your mail to go to your home instead of to the business, because it's easier to sort through it there or whatever. That's where you keep your business records, is at home. But in this case, we're just going to run it all through the business.
Okay, so the next screen is about selecting a NICS code, which is a business code. So what you want to do here is click on the blue button to look up the NICS code. And then here you're going to put in some keywords for a search. And it's going to give you a selection of choices. You want to pick the one that matches what you do for business the closest. It's going to explain what that is, and then you can select yes or next. And then you have the option of adding more codes if you choose to, or you can just go with the one code and then go to the next screen. Okay. And I think it also asks you if you're sure you want to select this code, and then you can say it. Okay, and then here we're going to fill out our initial questionnaire. This is going to ask you what you're doing for business. So it's going to ask you if you have any physical locations in Nevada, you're going to say yes. And then it's going to ask you, this is an important question, does your business sell or lease tangible personal property? So this is going to determine whether you're getting sales tax or consumer use tax. And then the rest of the questions, you'll go down and read those. They are, they're more about excise and wholesale, manufacturing, that kind of thing.
You
it
guys
goes
are,
into live entertainment.
yeah, and you guys are going to know more about your business in that regard than we do. And it will go into what registrations you need in coming screens.
Okay. and then next. And it's going to determine for us that we're registering for sales tax. So it's going to ask you about sales specifically. It's going to ask you if you make direct sales through your own website. Does your business sell product through another marketplace facilitator? Does your business facilitate sales on behalf of other third-party retailers? Can other retailers or vendors use your business website or platform to sell their product?
Can you give us a couple examples of marketplace facilitators?
Okay, so a marketplace facilitator is somewhere like Amazon or Etsy that collects sales tax on behalf of the vendor. In that case, you would say yes, and then they would collect sales tax on your behalf. And when you file, you're going to exempt your sales.
And in case of my fictitious business here, it is a restaurant, so there might be DoorDash or Uber Eats, which are both marketplace facilitators as well, and they will be collecting the sales tax on behalf of my business if I use them.
Okay. So next, now we are on to the corporate officers. So to add officers here, you're going to click on the plus or add an officer, and then put in the details of that officer, whether, you would put, if it's an officer and it's not a business, you would put owner individual. And then you would put in the ITN or the social security number, the legal name of the person, and then the officer title. And for officer title, it's usually owner, president, just depending on what kind of structure you have in your business. And then also the start date of that person and whether the officer is an owner of the business, and then percentage owned if that person is an owner. And then phone number and country and email. And finally, officer address at the very bottom.
Yes. Last time I was clicking too fast, this time I'm clicking too slow.
You're being mindful.
And again, we just need that street address and zip code, verify, click it, and it fills in the rest of the information for us. So now we're going to add that officer, and now they show.
Yeah, now the officer shows up, and then you can add additional officers. I think that you can add as many as you want. And then after you're done with that, then you would go to next. And now we would register, or we would review the account, what we have so far and the steps we're at, and then we're going to register for the sales and use tax location. Okay, so first we're going to estimate what we hope to be making monthly in sales. And then, okay, so for a restaurant in our case, retail sales in a restaurant are all ready to serve, so it's all taxable. So it would be the same amount as the estimated monthly sales. And then here we would select monthly or quarterly. For sales and use tax, we don't have the option of annual. So over $10,000, you're going to automatically just see the monthly selection. Okay, so after we've done that, we'll go to location details. Okay, so here we'll add our location. Okay, so here we're going to say, do you want this location to use your headquarters address? If you have a physical location that is not your entity address, then you will add the location here. You're going to add your DBA name, and then the location start date, and the contact person's name, and the contact person's title. Okay, and then we're going to put in the location email, location phone country, and location phone. And then here you have the option of putting in a location phone extension if you have one. And then it's going to ask you after that if you have any sales activities. And in our case, we're going to say yes.
And
Oh, and yeah, and that's kind of a newer one. Does this location sell liquor? Because that is not on mine. Okay, and then after that, if we only have the one location, we're gonna go into next. And then contact information for your sales and use tax return.
again, for the purpose of this, we're gonna select no. This would be again if you want them to go to separate addresses from your headquarters, or somewhere else for mailing stuff. If you want your bills to go to your bookkeeper, if you have one of those instead of straight to you, or if you wanted again to go to your home address instead of the business address.
And if you have an accountant or a bookkeeper, you want to add them as an officer. So if,
Not necessarily an officer, but a contact.
but at least a contact,
Yeah.
yes. Okay, so now it's going to review what you've put in so far. So you want to kind of really go over this and make sure you're putting in the correct information, because it is definitely harder to fix after you've submitted it. So you want to make sure that your entity address is correct, your name, your business name, these kind of things, and the spelling is correct, your email address is correct. Okay, and then after you've reviewed this, you can say next. I want to move on. Here you're going to click the affidavit if everything is true and correct to the best of your knowledge, so that you can continue forward. And then you're gonna, okay, so there's a $15 fee for the sales tax permit. So here you have the option of selecting your bank account or a credit card. And then if you click next, you'll go to that information, the billing information for your bank account in this case.
I'm just quickly entering all of the bank account information.
Yeah, and it looks like in this case, we don't have a security deposit, huh?
No, I made the sales
We
loan up that
opted.
we were.
Okay. Not in this demo, sorry.
You also have the option to save the bank account information for future use, so you don't have to enter it each time you log in. This is a very good thing because you can run into instances where you miskey something the next time you go in and then it doesn't match up, and so it is returned because they can't find the correct account. So we're going to save this one. And just verify the address one last time, and then we can submit the payment.
So there's your confirmation of payment. You can take a picture of that if you want to.
Or if you choose print this message, you can also save it as a PDF to your desktop. Windows has that functionality. We highly suggest that you keep a copy of this confirmation just in case anything goes wrong. You have the information to give to us. We can also look up any payments by this confirmation number.
Okay, and if this goes okay, so you would select okay, you should see the sales and use tax account on your, well, under your profile, your business and your sales and use tax account. So your business name and then your sales and use tax account. You should see, if you open up the sales and use tax account, you will see the DBA on there. If you go to view your locations, you can print the permit if it's available. You would go to print permit and then click on that and you can see the actual permit. And there you go. And you can print that or take a picture of it for further licensing.
This is, as it says here, must be displayed in public view at the permit location. So definitely want to print that out and put it in a frame, put it out somewhere that your customers can see it. But this would.
Yeah, that's the account number for the sales and use tax account. So that's meant in our new Mind of Out of Tax, that is your new number for your account. Well, if you go back to Jay's LLC, it also shows it right there.
Yeah.
That's the right one, right there.
Yes.
And it's also on the permit.
Okay. So I think that ends. So this is filing a return.
Welcome to the new My Nevada Tax e-services. This video will explain how to file a return. Log into e-services and choose the Action Center. Scroll down to the tax type with a return due. Click File Return. On the reporting questionnaire, answer yes or no to all questions. If the question is blue, you can click for more information. Enter sales and use tax by county, including county, total sales, exempt sales, and use amount. Click Add. Here you can add additional counties. Click Add to add additional county information, which will display. Click Next. This is your review page to ensure everything is correct. Click Next. Your sales and use tax return will display with total amounts due for final review. Check the affidavit box. Click Next. This is your payment options page. Select how you want to pay. In this example, we will choose bank account. Click Next. Enter the confirmed amount. Enter the routing number and your bank name will display. Enter your account number and confirm your account number. Choose your bank account type. Decide if you would like to save this information for future use. Enter billing information if it is not auto-populated, then click Submit. Your confirmation page will now display with a confirmation number, submission type, date, and payment amount. You can print this page for your records. Click OK and you will be returned to the My Nevada Tax page for your business, and you will see that your return has been submitted. If you need to make changes, click View and File Past Returns. You can withdraw, delete, or print a summary. This completes your return filing.
All right, let's see if it does it this time. It does.
Welcome to the new My Nevada Tax.
Oh,
Oh. Actually, I clicked too many times. Okay, so this one's going to be on making a logged in payment. I mean, we've kind of gone over it a couple times, but this will really help cement it. So here we go.
Welcome to the new My Nevada Tax e-services. This video will explain how to make a payment while logged into your account. After logging into e-services, scroll to the account you would like to make a payment on. Click Make a Payment. You will have several payment options. Click the appropriate payment option and click Next. Your account payment details will display on screen. Click Next. Continue to the payment options screen. Choose your payment type. Here we will use our bank account. On the Pay with Bank Account screen, confirm the payment amount and continue to payment information. Enter in the routing number. Enter the account number and confirm. Choose the bank account type. Answer yes or no to save for future use. Enter or confirm your billing information. Click Submit and a confirmation page will display, including the submission type, date, and amount paid. You can print this page for your records. You have now made a payment in My Nevada Tax.
And on to our final video of the day, a non-logged in payment.
Welcome to the new My Nevada Tax e-services. In this video, we will show you how to make a payment without being logged on. Go to the Payments and Refunds panel and click Make a Payment. Choose your payment option. Enter your federal employer ID number, ITIN, or Social Security number in the ID type field. Enter the account number. The account payment details will display on screen and click Next. Enter the contact information including business name, phone number, and address. Verify the address and click Next. Choose your payment options. In this example, we will pick bank account. Click Next. Confirm the payment amount. Enter your routing number. The bank name will appear after entering the correct routing number. Enter your account number and confirm. Now choose your bank account type. If your billing address is different from the business's address, you can make the necessary changes here. Click Submit and a confirmation page will display, including the submission type, date, and amount paid. You can print this page for your records. You have now made a payment on My Nevada Tax.
Next, we'll move into going over some of our frequently asked questions, and Morgan's going to go ahead and go over these slides for us. Oh. Yeah, go ahead, Morgan.
Okay, my name is Morgan. I'm at the Las Vegas office. I'm a tax examiner. Some of our frequently asked questions are, the first one is, will my login credentials from the Nevada Tax Center work to log into My Nevada Tax? No, you cannot use the same information from the Nevada Tax Center. You would have to recreate a new login information. When you're signing up, you can use the same username and password when you sign up, but when you initially try to log in, you have to click that sign up function. What is an account ID? As part of our new e-services launch, a new account ID has been issued for sales and use, consumer use, and other tax types that was mentioned in the previous screen. If you do not have your account ID and you're requesting access on the My Nevada Tax e-service portal, you can change the verification type to Legacy Taxpayer ID. Once logged in, you'll be able to obtain your new account ID. What is the Legacy Taxpayer ID number? This is referring to your Nevada Taxpayer Identification Number that was issued prior to the launch of our new system. The Department of Taxation now uses account IDs to identify your business's accounts. Support for taxpayer IDs or TIDs will only be available for a limited amount of time. Why did I not receive my verification code? When you're signing up for a My Nevada Tax account, it requests for you to validate your email verification. That verification code may often go to your junk or spam folder, so make sure to check those folders. And if that doesn't work, try the resend function. Then on to the next slide, please. What if I am not a business owner, officer, or responsible party for the business? You may still request access to the account. Additional validation may be required to grant access, such as providing one of the following: amount due on the return, payment amount. Note, if there is no financial history on the account, an example, a zero tax return due was filed, this will not grant access, and a Nevada tax access code will need to be requested or request access from an authorized user on the account. If you are not able to provide the information, or if the information does not match our records, please have an authorized user contact the department to update our records. We will also send a letter with a My Nevada Tax access code to the business that they can provide you with to gain access. Why is My Nevada Tax access code not working? The department reviews requests for accounts. To ensure the security of the account, we may deny the request internally if the requester is not a listed authorized user on the account. Please contact an authorized user to update the records or grant access.
All right, thank you, Morgan. So as with the slide toward the beginning about our phase 1 tax types, these are our phase 2 and 3 tax types and the estimated dates that they will go live in the My Nevada Tax. So coming up at the end of this year, the two big ones are the modified business tax and the commerce tax. We see majority of our taxpayers that have sales tax will generally have at least modified business tax, if not commerce tax. And then again, there's other excise taxes in both phases 2 and 3. And as I alluded to earlier, here's our main website, tax.nv.gov. And you can find the FAQs on sales tax, on the e-services, all under FAQ. And we also have several PowerPoint presentations under the education tab for some more specific into business industries and our general education slideshows as well. And also our instructional videos, which are in that yellow banner there. You can go to the videos that we showed today, just the only one